go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Off the Cup with Hoppy and Hobbs. And I feel like we haven't announced each other in a while. A few podcasts, I haven't told anybody who we are. So you are.
I'm Hoppy. And you are?
I'm Hobbs. Hey, guys. Good to talk with you this morning, my friend.
It's a great day.
So this week, we want to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe our podcast everywhere across the world because we are going global. We did launch on Pandora this week.
That's so awesome.
So if you have your little Pandora app where you listen to free music, because nobody pays for Pandora, go ahead and plug in the Off the Cup with Hoppy and Hobbs, and you can listen to all 39 episodes because this is episode 39.
Yeah. You know what's kind of cool?
No.
Is my son the other day goes, Alexa, listen to Off the Cup. And I'm like, I wake up listening to the podcast.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm like, dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah, we are on TuneIn Alexa, so that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you can listen to the podcast there.
And then what's great, too, is every time he hears anything on the radio, hey, Daddy, is that you? Soon.
Yeah, soon. Yep. Also, I haven't promoted this, but we actually have a YouTube channel with 5 subscribers.
You got it. In order to get 6, you got to get 5.
And it's pretty funny because everybody makes fun of me for having 5 subscribers, but I've never told anybody that it's actually there. So I'm actually kind of impressed.
So that's 5 geniuses are already following us. It's great.
5 geniuses. So today we're gonna talk some Padres. There's all kinds of stuff going on in Padre land. Hoppy wants to talk about a little bit about some stuff going on in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, a little MLB update.
Maybe especially Jacob DeGrom,
dude,
and a couple of other things. And I have a question for you about something.
Okay.
As well towards the end of the podcast. And
sounds good.
I think it's a pet peeve of yours. So I think it's going to be fun.
Love it.
But first, I want to tell something to all Padre fans.
All Padre fans. Are you listening?
The season is 162 games long, and this week you all jumped off the bandwagon.
Yeah.
The team was 10-10. 10-10. Now they're 12-10. At 10-10, they were still in the playoffs if the season ended. But good news, there's 140 games left.
I know, it's crazy.
Relax. Do you remember a couple years ago when the Washington Nationals were crap for about half the season and they won the World Series?
Yeah, they were 19-32 at one point.
And they won the World Series. The Padres are one of the best teams in baseball. Period.
You know what's funny? If you go back like 5 years ago, I would have been like, "Oh my God, the Padres are 500!
It's the greatest day ever.
We got a chance." And now because we're loaded and we're really good, and you're 10-10, they're like, "Oh, what's going on? We just got the Dodgers came into town and the Brewers." What a difference a week makes, or 2 games make.
Yeah,
is everyone's back on it. You just got to understand, this is a grind. Last year was a sprint. This is a marathon. There's going to be so much baseball that goes on.
And we've had starting pitchers go 2 innings, and the Padres had to use their whole bullpens. It's been very, very crazy there. You got Chris Paddock not having a great start. You've got a rookie coming in trying to do his best to lengthen out. You got all kinds of stuff going on, and you've played the Giants, the Dodgers, and the Brewers, who are right now 3 of the best teams in baseball. And which saying that about the Giants kind of makes me bummed out, but they have the best records in the game, and you're still, as of today, you're 12-10 and you've won 3 games in a row against the Dodgers.
Yeah, and amongst all this, people are going, Tingler sucks. He's
Fire
horrible.
Tingler.
Fire him. He's horrible. And I posted this, but public service announcement: managing in the big leagues is hard.
You mean it's not easy?
No. It's like, this isn't video games you just plug in and boom, boom, boom. You're dealing with so many factors.
Oh. Could you imagine if you had a crowd watching you play video games and when you lost, they were just on your shoulder like,
fired. That's it. Give him a PS1. You don't deserve a 5.
You need to go back to Nintendo, and I don't mean RBI baseball. You have to play bases loaded.
Oh, my goodness. It's not comical because I want to just go, look, if you have to deal with everything that a manager has to deal with, injuries, We know how a guy's attitude is,
egos,
all that stuff.
injuries. Like Machado's hurt.
Yeah,
we just don't know how bad.
Yeah, and he's going to. I mean, Tatis is battling through. I mean,
Fam's hurt.
Fam's. But you know what's? Okay, guys are all over Fam. Guess who came up big last night? Fam. Guess who came up big the other night? Fam.
I want to know how he made that throw to first base to get Kershaw off. Like
that looked like it hurt.
Oh,
that was like.
I was like, man, I remember when I used to throw to second base like that. That hurt so bad, and I couldn't feel my arm for like 2 innings.
It looked like a throw that he hadn't warmed up for.
Yes,
and just went. So if
you've ever for the team,
hey, Dad, throw me the ball, and you're like, okay, that's what it looked like. But you know what? He's getting the job done. Everyone's all over him. The Mookie Betts great catch was a Fam hit. Then the next night, that was a Fam hit that knocked into. And then he comes up huge with the defense and a hit last night. Right. The guy just competes. He's our version of Hunter Pence, but with an attitude.
Yeah.
He's like, Hunter Pence is the goofy guy. Fam's the tough guy, and you just go play, Fam.
Well, 150 doesn't matter.
No.
Right? Especially through 20 games. Also, I mean, are you going to be all over Cronenworth? Get Cronenworth out because he's batting 270 now because he went 0 for 13, but he's obviously your starting second baseman by playing good defense and hitting 270.
Yeah,
like if you told me Cronenworth was going to hit 270 for a season and start at second base every game, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about again. Name a second baseman for the Padres that has hit over 270 in the last 8 years.
Right. I mean,
there isn't one.
Right. And now Tatis is hitting home runs. Everybody's starting to get on board. We're starting to play more like a team. Most importantly, as soon as you eliminate the errors, the W's start going up.
Right. And as soon as you eliminate the ground ball into a double play, those runs score.
Right.
Which, the Padres lead the league in grinding into double plays.
But they're hard hit.
But they also lead the league in on-base percentage.
And pitcher strikeouts.
So I mean, there's so many things that have led up. And you just took 2 from the Dodgers at home, and you're not even close to playing your best baseball yet.
Right.
That's the exciting part is our pitchers are not exactly where they have to be. Our hitters aren't exactly where they have to be. Our defense hasn't been there. Our hitting with runners in scoring hasn't been there. And you just took 2 from the Dodgers in L.A.
Okay, so let's take a step back. Ryan Weathers, he's in what? He's gets pulled out after 5 2/3. Mm-hmm. The internet goes crazy. What's Tingler doing? This and that. I'm like, I can't believe they let him pitch that long because he went from throwing 96th inning before to barely hitting 90 that inning. Mm-hmm. His legs were clearly gone. The balls were hit so hard. Absolutely the right decision to take him out of the game. It was smart. They're trying to stretch him out. Yes, he's probably thrown over 8,900 pitches in his lifetime as a pitcher, but not this year. He started in the bullpen, right?
Yeah.
They stretched him out pretty good.
Yeah.
He looked really good. The decision to take him out was the right one.
As a manager, when you're watching, the number one thing is your pitching staff as far as managing that. And if you're trying to make guys from relievers to starters, there is a process. You can't just go, hey, go throw until your arm falls off because you won't make it through the season and your career's going to be over.
Can I give you 4 words?
4.
Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood.
Yes. Phenomenal pitchers, young, go out, throw 220 innings, like 3 seasons in a row, and
career's over.
I mean, Mark Pryor was the next dude.
Kerry Wood was the next Nolan Ryan.
Yeah. He was the next Roger Clemens, who was the next Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
And, credit to Wood is he reinvented himself, but Pryor never got right with his arm. And everyone talked about mechanics. That wasn't about mechanics. That was about overuse.
Yes.
So, Pryor's a San Diego guy. He's the pitching coach for the Dodgers now.
He was in the Padre organization for a few years.
Long time. So, there is a process to becoming a starting pitcher in the big leagues. And even though Weathers was a stud in high school and probably threw complete games every time he went out for 7 innings, it's different when you're in front of fans and facing major league hitters. It's different. The stress is different, and he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, is he really that good, or have the team's just not figured him out yet? That's the question.
I think he's that good.
Well, if he is, he hides the ball really well because he doesn't have anything super special. I mean, he's 96 from the left side. Slide, he's kind of there. There's nothing that stands out and says you are an ace except for what's happening in the games.
Right. No, his delivery, I can't even say it's deceptive, but mechanically he's damn near perfect. I looked at his mechanics. He's so good. Mechanically, he's so good. And he's going to be a power guy. But, you get to a point where, okay, you're out of gas. You can't make a car with no gas go.
Yeah.
He ran out of gas.
Yeah, and then once you get there, all you're asking for is an injury.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
It
doesn't matter what the situation is. When you're out of gas, you get him out.
Yeah.
So,
he probably shouldn't have went out and pitched that inning, but nobody knew he was that tired until he got
right,
there.
because they go, how you feel? I feel good.
I feel great. I'm not coming out.
That's it.
Name an athlete that's ever said, hey, coach, you know what? I'm a little tired. I don't want to play right now.
Yeah. You might want to think about taking me out now.
Yeah. You know what? I'm 3 for 3. I hit 3 home runs. It's game number 20. You know what? I don't want that fourth at bat.
Yeah. You might get a little tired.
I don't know if I really want to hit 4 home runs.
If you ever do, you don't want that guy on your team, which I've had. and literally the guy got released that night.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That takes me back. Anyway.
I would never want to play with a pitcher that didn't want to pitch.
Right. And that was the scenario.
And didn't think that he could get the next guy out. That is not a guy I want on my team.
He flips the ball. I'm hurt. Walks off the mound. The manager's like, I wasn't even going to pull you, but all right, get somebody from the pen.
So Ryan Weathers looks great. I can't wait to watch him come out. I can't wait to see him stretch out to 6 innings.
And here we go again. Last year, playoffs, they bring up this kid Weathers. Who the hell's Weathers? Almost anybody.
What just happened there?
I was trying to clear my throat and talk at the same time. It's hard to do.
Sounded good.
Who's Weathers?
Yeah.
And then he gets his major league debut.
Because everything's about Gore.
Everything. Where's Mackenzie Gore?
Yeah.
And Weathers gets his major league debut in the playoffs against the Dodgers. You think the Padres got it right on him?
Yeah, and the Dodgers, I don't think they've still scored an earned run off of Weathers.
I think it's 2 hits, 3 hits, and like 10 or 11 punch outs.
And like 13 innings.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that.
A good job by your player development of noticing, hey, this guy is further along than our top prospect. So let's move him up. There is a process. There's a plan. No one ever makes anything up in baseball. It's all planned out.
Yeah.
When Mackenzie Gore gets to the big leagues, it'll be ready. He'll be ready. So if he's not ready, that's when you bring up Weathers, and he's been great.
Good job, BDR.
Yeah. If you don't know what that is, you're going to have to look that one up, okay? Because
we're not saying it.
We're not saying nothing about nicknames.
So, coming from BDR straight to Tatis. Tatis.
Wow.
Might be BDT. After the couple home runs off Kershaw, he can definitely hit a medium speed pitch
with 2 hands and
authority.
Yes, both of those home runs last night were smashed.
The first one on the curveball was really impressive. That ball was down. He stayed back.
That went in the second deck in left center, and that's a bomb in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, and you can only hope that he's turning the corner and getting more comfortable and is ready to play. I mean, he hit the ball hard the night before. He hit the ball hard last night. Somehow fell down running the bases. I don't know. But
big feet, I guess.
Isn't making the errors. Looks like he's kind of calmed down and is back to playing baseball.
Yeah. Well, just like, you come off an injury, you're a little hesitant. And then when you find out, okay, I'm fine. Okay, I feel good. All right, well, let's just go back to being Tatis.
I think a little bit, and you can tell me if you think the same thing. A little bit might be I am being paid to do everything. And I have to realize that I can't do everything. I just have to do what I can do.
Well, I think that might be self-inflicted because I
exactly.
guarantee you when he was signing that 14-year, $341 million contract, they didn't say, okay, now you have to go do everything.
Yeah, I know, but even when you sign your first contract that's $850 a year, you feel like you have to earn it.
Right.
Or
you have to justify it.
You feel like yeah, I got to do something.
I got to justify
because somebody's paying
this.
me to do
Right.
this.
Right.
And so you press a little bit, and you have to get back and realize that you're just supposed to do what you do.
And you know what? I mean, even without contracts, let's just say you're in Little League, or you're in high school. There's so much pressure that kids put on themselves, whether it's because of their parents or because of their coach or they got to get a scholarship, that really that holds them back.
Yeah.
If you just go out and play, just go be you. Right? Just be the best you that you can be and go play and have fun. If you're a player, people are going to see you. People are going to talk about you. And then you're going to get your opportunities. If you're out there going, I have to get a scholarship.
Yeah. So I always ask my players, what is the worst thing that can happen here?
Yeah.
Like literally, what's the worst thing? Like, I can get out. We can lose. Okay, then what happens after the game? You go get ice cream. You go hang out with your friends.
Yeah, you go home.
What happened? You're okay.
Yeah, you're going to be fine.
So why put that pressure on yourself? Go out and play the game, have fun, and if it doesn't work out your way, learn from it so the next time you can be better prepared to make it work out your way. But don't put that pressure on yourself because there isn't any.
Right.
There's no pressure.
And the thing is they have to be told.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's no pressure here.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine. Hey, just go play. If we do our job, guess what? We got a good chance of winning.
That's right. Because I'm coaching you.
And there's and also if we go out and do our job, there's a chance we may lose.
Right.
But we're going to be all right. And if we play our game and you play your game, our chances are going to go up there. We're going to win.
Right. And something I didn't learn until I became a professional baseball player is your goal, as you want to win every game, but your goal is to win most of them. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
If you win most of your games, you win the championship.
Here we go. I love this. I want you to picture this. You're gonna lose a third of your games. You're gonna win a third of your games. That middle third is what determines whether you're a 500 team, below 500, or a playoff team. Every team wins a third and loses a third. It's that in between group, which is your playoff team.
Yeah.
So you're not managing for 100%. You're managing for that 1/3. Because if we did nothing, just made out a lineup card and said, go get them, you're going to win a third and lose a third.
Right. And in Major League Baseball, like you could be 82-80 and make the playoffs.
Right.
And so it's not about like we go out and win every game. You can't win. Nobody goes 0-162 and nobody goes 162-0.
That would be amazing.
You win 110 games, you're one of the greatest teams in the games
ever
in the history of baseball. But if you win 100, you're just good.
Yeah.
That's a 10-game difference.
Yeah. It's
over 162.
Right. You win 65% of your games. That's amazing.
You win 95, you're a pretty good team. You win 100, you're a really good team. You win 110, you're a great team.
Yep.
Like it's not a wide spread, and being 2 games over 500 at eighth of the way of the season means that you're 16 games over 500 at the end if you extrapolate it out, and that's a great team.
Extrapolate. Great word.
I do my best.
Yes. So smart.
I'm semi-educated.
Sometimes. Yeah, and that's what's crazy about this game of baseball is you're going to fail a lot.
A lot. The game's all about failing.
If you go 1 for 3, you're hitting 333. That's 33%. That's an F if you take a test. It's a Hall of Fame career if you do that the entire career.
You can make the most amazing play that you've ever made in your life as an outfielder. Like literally jump over the fence, steal a home run, make the greatest play. Everybody's going crazy, But if it happened to be with a runner on third base and 1 out in a tie game in the bottom of the ninth, your team still lost.
You still lost. Yeah. You can hit a ball the hardest you've ever hit a ball and get out.
Yeah, we're hitting to a Manny Machado style double play on a ball that's 105 miles per hour.
Right. Or you could swing,
Or
hit one 19 feet and get a hit.
And get a hit. Like Cronenworth's double play a couple nights ago on the ball, like completely scorched. Like,
right.
Just destroyed. Couldn't even catch it clean. Like just
knocked it down. Literally knocked it down.
Happy to just touch it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a double play.
Double play. A phenomenal double play.
Yeah.
Knocked the ball down. Didn't even catch it.
Right.
Great defensive play.
It
How'd
was-
you do that? I just knocked it down.
Hit so hard that I picked it up off the ground and flipped it to somebody, and we
I
turned a
just
double
flipped
play.
it in the general area and let Tatis take care of it.
And
And, then he threw an absolute bullet to first.
Yeah, I'd love to have radar on that throw.
That was probably about 92.
That was insane.
I'm going to guess 92.
But that's this game. It's all about failure and how you cope with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can correlate that to whatever else you're doing. I mean, there's going to be failures.
That's why guys that are very aloof tend to succeed.
There you go again.
They have no idea what's going on in the
Yeah.
game, and they tend to come up clutch because they don't put that pressure on themselves.
Exactly.
That's a pretty good tangent we got off of.
Yeah.
We were talking about how hard Tatis hit the ball over the last
And
few
how good
games.
Weathers is. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Manny Machado's hard hit outs. Like, as a hitter, how do you deal with hitting the ball so hard and getting out?
Well, I think when you're young, you get frustrated because all you see is that you got out.
Yeah, you don't
See all the good stuff. Like you were on time, everything was right. You scorched the ball and you got out. That's the ultimate goal. Every time you get up to plate, it's not to get a hit because you can move guys around, right? I used to think, well, look at his batting average. The older I got and the more experience I got, you realize batting average doesn't depict how good the at bat was. If you have a good at bat and you end up hitting the ball hard, but you still get out, well, I'm going to put you back up there.
It depends. There's a
No, I
to
get
an
it.
extent.
I get it. But
Yeah.
that's how I used to, great guys. Well, let's look at his batting average, But then what kind of at bats is he having? I got crap, and I know this. I got crap when I was coaching. And like, how the heck do you have this guy in right field all the time? Well, because every at bat is a battle. He ends up hitting the ball hard, and he just gets out. I mean, it's got to break up sometime. Law of averages. Whereas another guy goes, "How come my kid's not playing? He's batting 500," and I go, "That's some really good coaching," because I put him in against.
Yeah, he's batting when it's 10-0 and their second baseman's pitching.
Or it's against a team that we'll be lucky to play 5 against because we're going to put 20 up against them. Yeah. That's just great coaching. But, when you're up there and Manny's hitting the ball the way he's hitting it, I mean, okay. I mean, you look at his average, you're like, that's not that good. But everything he touches is scorched.
I've never seen anybody play the way he's playing.
I saw a
this year.
stat. He is leading the league by far. It's like 67% of the balls that he hits are hard hit. Hard hit averages high. So he's like 670. I mean, the next guy is like 51.
Yeah, watching Manny Machado play this year, he has to be one of the best baseball players I've ever seen.
Yeah, and
Backhand plays at third base with a underhand flip to first base right in the chest.
almost like, okay, well, here you go.
Like
he didn't even bother him that he just backhanded that ball, which was an in between hop, and then went and flipped
underhand.
it
Like this, submarine style.
And Hosmer catches it, 6 feet out in front. You're out by a mile by
with,
6 feet.
with the runner. Like
Yeah.
you said, 6 feet to 10 feet from the bag when he catches.
Yeah, it wasn't
the
bang
ball.
bang. I mean, he threw him out by 6 feet, and 6 feet in baseball's a mile.
And the batter's thinking he had a double. Like he's rounding.
He's running. Next thing you know, Hosmer's catching the ball, and he's like,
I'm out. And then you get you get diving plays.
oh. He made the Mookie Betts line drive was, I mean, he just that's an athlete.
Yeah.
That was not a self-defense. That was an athletic catch
Did you see where Tatis was when he caught the ball?
behind him.
I think Tatis might have caught it if Machado didn't. He was there, and
That's
I was
great.
like, I was looking at him like, if Machado doesn't lay out, Tatis was about to lay out for
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, how did Tatis get there?
Yeah. Just
Like,
an athlete, man.
They got some
Instincts.
serious range on that side, but I don't know if I've ever seen anybody play a whole game of baseball at the level that Machado is playing baseball right now.
Well, at the time, he was the highest paid player.
Yeah.
$300 million. Or close to it. I think it was the second, right?
Yeah.
$300 million. Is he worth it? Well, if you look back, the guy's been in the big league since he was 19. Where in Baltimore, and it was a phenom. You know? But he played in Baltimore on some terrible teams. Now here he is. He's leading this rivalry because it's become a rivalry.
Oh, it's right now we're talking about the best rivalry in baseball.
Yeah. Saturday night.
Yeah. Going from the hitting, the Padres have been great. Their defense is getting better. When they don't make errors, they win. That's really what's coming down to right now because the pitching is so tight and they haven't been hitting the ball as well. Now they're starting to hit. Let's talk a little bit about Darvish. Throwing more off speed than anything, and then deciding to throw 96-mile-an-hour fastballs down the middle for strikeouts.
It's crazy.
And the guys are taking it because they haven't seen one.
They're
the whole
frozen.
game.
They're frozen.
Yeah.
And, okay, so he throws a get me over slider, strike one. Then he throws a slider in the dirt and the guys swing at it. And you're like, okay. And then he'll waste a pitch and then he just paints. And you're like, you're done.
Yeah, he'll throw an 84-mile-an-hour curveball. He'll throw a 3-0 slider for a strike, come back with a curveball for a strike, and then throw 96 for a strike, and you have no chance.
Wherever he wants it, yeah.
Because he hasn't thrown you a fastball, not just at a bat, but this is your third at bat, and he still hasn't thrown you one.
Right.
And then he just throws 96, and you have no idea it's coming.
Right. And that's the power of having a fastball that you can locate. You don't have there's power pitchers, and basically Darvish pitches backwards the entire time.
It's amazing because he doesn't care.
No.
He doesn't care that he can throw 96. He's like, you know what? I'm going to try to get soft contact. I'm going to get you to chase. I'm going to nibble. I'm not even going to throw every pitch a strike. I'm going to see if you'll chase it. And then, oh, man, I need an out.
Yeah. Yeah. Normally, you throw the fastball to set up the breaking pitches.
That is why he needs a personal catcher.
Yeah.
A regular, just Joe off the street can't call that game.
How good is Caratini? I mean, legitimately, how good is he?
Behind the plate.
Behind the plate. He's, and it basically took Musgrove and called Darvish his game. It's unreal. And Darvish doesn't shake him off. He goes, okay.
Yeah, just a couple times have you ever seen Darvish. I think one time Caratini wanted to throw a fastball and Darvish like, nah, I want to throw a slider. You know? I don't want to throw
one out of 100.
Yeah, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. But it's pretty fun and amazing to watch a guy go out and is like, I don't need to throw hard, but when I want to, you're out.
Yeah. And you watch his demeanor. He went to work. You just watch him and he's like, there we go.
Yeah, he's really locked in.
Yeah.
He's locked in.
He doesn't show a lot of motion, but you can
tell he cares. If you see like the strikeouts after the inning when he's walking off the mound,
yeah.
He doesn't look like he cares, but then he's like,
yeah. What was that?
You heard it.
No, I mean, but that's a professional pitcher, man. And that's what you're paying for. That's what you're paying the money for, is for him to go out, even in a game in April against the Dodgers, and go, when I pitch, you have a good chance of losing.
Yeah, and less than 50, probably less than 40% of his pitches are fastballs.
Yeah.
And I'm not counting sinkers as fastballs because
it's
different. It's different. I'm like 4-seam, 2-seam, not even 40%.
Yeah. No, he was brilliant last night.
Yeah, most pitchers, when they get behind the count, they throw the 4-seamer.
Right. I got to get a strike.
Darvish throws a slider or curveball. It's absolutely impressive. I want to talk a little bit. I was going to talk about beating the shift, but I'm going to save that for another podcast.
Okay.
Chris Paddock. Everybody is talking about move Chris Paddock to the bullpen, make him a closer. I don't want that guy to be my closer with the straight 4-seam fastball. He's just got to figure it out. Like, he's got to get a two-seamer or something with a little bit of movement, or he's just got to get the ball down.
Yeah.
Right? The ball's up. You can't be a fly ball pitcher in today's day and age.
No. And here's baseball's a game of inches. I've been hearing that forever, right? You hear that, it's a game of inches. There's a huge difference between a fastball at the knees and then that fastball is belt high and then a fastball just below the hands.
Absolutely. And
when the first year, when he came up, he was throwing that fastball just below the hands, and you can't touch it, right? And then he would nibble and just spin something up there, and his changeup was good, right? And then last year, that fastball just below the hands became the fastball at the waistline and was getting smoked. Then you're babying your changeup. You're behind in the count, and because you don't have anything else like a really good slider, here's that 95 or 93 from last year, and it got smoked. When you can elevate in today's game, you're going to get guys out. Because guys chase.
You can't elevate every pitch.
No.
It has to be...
You have to be able to hit a corner, throw something else, and make that ball look big to the hitter. And he just hasn't been consistent with that.
He's repeating the elevated fastball, which makes it easier to hit.
Right.
In order to hit a fastball...
Or easier to take.
Right. In order to hit a fastball down and away or down and in on a corner at your knees, you have to be perfect to get a hit.
Right.
To hit it out of the yard, you got to be even more perfect than perfect. Right? To get a base hit on a waist high or a chest high fastball, you just got to get your barrel on it.
And yeah, I mean it's the distance from hands to the ball's easier.
But you can get a flare. Like, not only you don't have to hit the ball hard, even though chances are you're going to barrel it up. But because the ball's up, the ball's going to go up.
Yeah.
When the ball's going down, it tends to, unless you're absolutely perfect, continue to go down. The way he throws, like he throws
that
over the top.
trajectory,
It's like either like
pitch
this
angle.
or like this.
Yeah, pitch angle.
And so if he's not getting the ball down, when he throws it up, they're going to crush it.
Yeah. If I were,
but you can't put that guy in. You can't put that guy in the pen.
No.
In a close game.
No.
Not knowing what you're going to get.
If I were a pitching coach for the day and they said, "Here, we got this kid, Chris Paddock. What do you want to do with him?" I would show him a cutter.
Can you throw a solid cutter from that arm slot without hurting yourself?
It's going to be. His action on a cutter would be like a really hard slider.
Yeah.
Just because of his arm angle. So,
I mean, basically, you just take his fingers and move him over.
Well, you just move the ball.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you just basically
how it comes off the finger, it's going to go.
Yeah.
Because that's just a fastball. It's a cut fastball. If you don't know, a cutter is a cut fastball.
Yeah. So basically, you slide the ball over and you put your fingers together.
Yeah, and you throw it just like a fastball.
And if that doesn't feel right, you keep your fingers separated and you just move the ball over in your hand.
Yep, and it comes off your finger because most people's middle finger is longer, so the last thing it touches is there, and you get a little finger, and it cuts.
Yep,
it cuts,
and it doesn't. You don't change any mechanics. You throw the ball exactly the same way. It all just happens when the ball comes out of your hand.
Yep, that would be the first thing I do.
But in some guys can't do it.
No, and pitchers talking to go, what about this? Oh, I learned this from this guy in a bullpen one day, and it's been amazing. And other guys can do it. I just can't do it. So, but there has to be that next element added to him.
Yeah.
Because the league figures you out, right? In either you continually adjust or you don't pitch in the big leagues anymore.
Yeah.
I hope he does, because when he's on, he's on. We saw flashes of him being, quote unquote, a bona fide ace type guy.
Yeah, I met a pitcher who threw a hard sinker, and I'd never seen a sinker move like this before. And I said, "How do you throw it?" He's like, "I don't show anybody how I throw it." I'm like, "Dude, your career's over." It's just like I'm not gonna teach anybody how to throw this. And he showed me how he throws a sinker, and literally nobody could ever do it.
Right.
Because of the way he throws it. He actually, and I'm going to share it, he actually threw it like a knuckleball.
Oh.
But when he threw the pitch, he pushed his fingers were so strong, he pushed the ball out, and the ball actually rotated the other way.
Oh, wow.
Like figure out how to do that.
Yeah, how would you teach? Yeah, you're not teaching your kid that.
Nobody's learning how to do that, but he had his own pitch.
Yeah.
Somebody showed it to him, and he figured out how to do it. It's like throwing a knuckleball. On the back half of the Tommy Pham, Jerks and Profar playing left field, you're the GM of the Padres and you think your outfielders suck.
Okay.
Who'd you give up for Kris Bryant?
Ooh.
Or is there somebody better that you'd rather have that's available?
Well,
because you didn't get Schwarber.
Didn't get Schwarber. Love Schwarber. Yelich is kind of a staple in the Brewers. Even I'd love to get him.
They're winning. They're not trading.
Yeah, they're not trading him. Andrew Benetendi.
Tell me why. Red Sox man.
When he came up with the Red Sox, they put him in the 2 and 3 slot, and he was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Excuse me. I think he's only going to get better, and I love his athleticism. He plays a really good outfield. I mean, he was next to Bradley Jr. and Betts. That was a pretty damn good outfield. Right. I like his demeanor. He reminds me of like kind of a Hosmer mindset, which is we're just going to get after it. He's got pop from the left side and can hit the ball the other way, and he can run. He's a base stealer. So if I can go get one and say he's going to be with the Padres for the next 5 years, I'm going to go get Andrew Benetendi.
All right. So you're now the GM of the Padres. Mm-hmm. I'm the GM of the Red Sox. You just told me everything great about
Kansas City. He's in Kansas City now.
Oh, yeah, switched, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, and then I am the GM of the Royals.
Mm-hmm.
You just told me everything great about him. Tell me what you're giving me to get him.
Oh, wow. Who am I going to give you? I'm going to give you Capasano.
Seriously?
Yeah.
The future at behind the plate.
Yep.
And I'm going to take him because I don't have a catcher?
No, you have a catcher. You have a catcher. He's a pretty good one. But that's who I'm going to give you.
Okay, let's see if I keep accepting it's not enough.
Man. I'll give you Altavia.
I don't need any relief pitchers.
Sure you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
if you're going to give it, it has to be a prospect. I'm building my team. I want Weathers.
You're not getting Weathers. I'll give you Mateo.
Okay, that's just a second piece.
Yep.
You're going to have to give a couple more if you're considering that because I'm not sure he's a starter.
Mateo?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I got this. So Capasano, Mateo, who are my highest, one of my, they're in the big leagues now.
Yeah, one of them's hitting under 100.
Because he just doesn't get enough playing time. He needs playing time is what he needs.
And they lose the games when he catches. And the other one is really fast runner, but isn't seeing much playing time. So
right.
Appreciate that.
But that's where he's going to help you.
Keep going.
I'm
just telling you, that's not enough.
I understand that. Oh. I was going to say like Morihone, but he's having Tommy John.
I would add him as a third player. Okay, I got keep bringing.
Yeah, when he gets healthy,
enough. That's not enough.
It's not enough for Benetendi.
No, because he's still. You're looking for a starting left fielder, and I'm looking to restock my team. So I've got a pitcher that's Tommy John that might come back in a year. Mm-hmm. I got a young catcher that still needs 2 years in the minors, and I have a backup middle infielder. And you want me to trade you a starting left fielder?
Yep.
No.
I might give you Pham too.
I'm not taking.
Because he's
I'm not
the
taking.
leader.
Then if you're going to give me Pham, you need to give me $10 million.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
And I'm going to get Benetendi in left field.
And I want
batting in the 2
I
slot.
want Wingenter to go along with it.
No. Nope. Pham, Capasano, Morihone, Mateo, and $10 million for Benetendi, and give me a low level minor leaguer.
Yeah, I'll give you a pitcher.
Okay, thanks.
Good deal.
Deal done.
Now.
Okay.
Okay. At the last second, the medicals didn't come through, so you have to pivot back to Kris Bryant. And you're the Padres GM, and I'm the Cubs GM. And Kris Bryant, I believe, is on an expiring contract, so I'll take that into account.
Uh-huh.
And I'm rebuilding.
Right.
Although we just smoked the Brewers.
Right, but you need pitching.
I need pitching.
You need pitching, so I'm gonna give you Chris Paddock.
All right, I'll put him right after Davies in the rotation and watch him give up fly ball home runs
And
when the wind's blowing
then
out.
I'm gonna give you Morihone too, but that's a Tommy John thing.
I don't think you give him up Morihone if you give up Paddock. If you're the
no,
Padres
I'm
guy.
gonna-
I mean, I'll take him, but
I'm gonna give you Paddock and Morihone for Bryant
I want to
because you're not gonna get anything.
I want Austin Adams and Dan Altavia with it.
Okay. But then I'm gonna take back Morihone. I'll give you Paddock.
No, you're giving me two bullpen arms that you don't want or need.
But no, I'm telling you, Paddock's gonna be a dude.
You can be a dude.
He's gonna get with your pitching coordinator, and they're gonna do their own little stats, and they're gonna teach him something, and he's gonna be a dude.
Right.
And I'm giving you two relievers.
Okay. Oh, hold on.
And for a guy that
I
you're
want-
gonna give up.
Paddock and Morihone,
Okay.
Austin Adams and Tim Hill.
No, I got to take back.
I'm not asking for Weathers or Gore here.
No, I'm going to take back Morihone. If you're going to take,
I have to have
lefty-
Morihone, so
okay, then I'm going to take back Paddock.
I want Paddock and Morihone. That has to happen, and I want another relief pitcher.
Okay, I'll give you Hill. No,
No, you don't want to.
no, I'm going to give you. Who was it?
You're gonna
You
give me-
said Adams.
I want Adams.
Okay, I'll give you. Okay,
Will you throw in Krismet?
no.
Throw in Northcutt, who they just brought up, 30 years old debut, Major League. Padres just brought him up.
Those are just throw-ins.
I know. I'm asking for a throw-in.
No,
I need pitchers.
I understand that.
One of them's on Tommy John and may never come back.
But no, I gave you Paddock and Morihone.
I'm doing it, man. For a guy that I can't re-sign, hell
Yeah.
yeah. That's a great
But I want
trade.
that deal done today,
That's a great trade.
and I want Bryant in left field
Yeah.
for the next 140 games.
Yeah, and I didn't have to give up my depth of FAM and Profar.
There you go.
And nobody's going to trade for Profar because of his 3 opt-outs.
Right, but he doesn't need to be traded. He's a valuable piece.
Right. I'm just saying nobody would trade for him. And FAM, I don't think anybody's trading for him right now either.
No, but I think he's also a great piece.
But I think I don't think the Padres will give up Morihone, and I'm not sure they're going to give up Paddock yet. But that's how you can work out a deal for one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, if I can get Bryant, and then Bryant has to sign a deal with us.
Yeah, that's a prerequisite.
Yeah, which note to everybody, Bryant absolutely loves hitting in San Diego.
Yeah, and could you imagine having backup third baseman Hosmer? And when Hosmer's contract
Jeez.
goes out, you've got Bryant and Machado in the infield.
Mm-hmm.
One of them playing third,
One of them playing first. Yeah,
And
Damn good team.
if Cronenworth and Kim don't work out, Bryant can play second.
Nah, Crony's gonna.
I'm
be
just
a
saying if
gamer,
they
dude.
don't,
Here we go. Cup check.
because you still have
Hold on, I got a cup check for you.
because you didn't have to give up C.J. Abrams in those trades.
And that's the other part. But so can I do a cup check?
My cup is checked.
Okay. If you could predict who Cronenworth would
Who?
Cronenworth. I don't know why I threw a G in there on the first one. Cronenworth. 10 years from now, what MLB player do you think he's going to closely emulate?
I'm guessing he washes out of the big leagues in 4 years.
No.
Yeah, he's 27.
Okay. Well, okay. 5 years.
27, 28 years old.
What player does he remind you of?
I'm trying to think of journeyman second baseman, guy that can go out there and play but isn't a star. He's a little bigger than Eckstein, who ended up playing second. I just don't. I see him as just a guy.
Oh,
I love him. I think
Yeah.
he's great, but when it comes down to it, he's just a guy.
You know who I think? He reminds me of Jeff Kent.
No,
Yeah.
Jeff Kent's a 30 home run guy, and
He just
I don't even like Jeff Kent, but he's a better player than Cronenworth, except on the defensive side. He's a better offensive player.
yeah. But I just when he's up at the plate, I get the same feeling when I watch Jeff Kent.
But I don't think the players do. We want it to be good, and we see, but I don't think when you're pitching against him, I don't think you're scared.
Yeah, but he does well.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
not
he's
saying
a
he
tough
doesn't.
at bat. I mean, he puts the bat.
I'm on the mound. I'm not afraid of him beating me
in
that lineup.
No,
That's why he's doing so well, because people aren't afraid.
right? No, he's in the lineup well. He's protected, but I am very confident with him up at the plate.
Oh yeah, I'm there with you. But if he's the guy batting third and he's the best hitter on your team, you're not afraid of that team. And Jeff Kent batting third, you're afraid of that team, right?
Yeah.
But you're not afraid if Cronenworth's batting third. And he did okay when he batted third in the last week, but you're not afraid of the lineup when he's batting third.
Well,
But he's batting seventh, your lineup gets longer.
right.
But if, no,
I get it. I'm just saying he just reminds me of like a Jeff Kent type.
yeah, he just doesn't have the pop yet. Maybe he'll develop the pop, maybe he won't. I just think he's a serviceable plus defender, a second baseman that makes contact.
Well, he makes good contact.
Yeah. I like I said, I really like watching him play. But he's not Robbie Alomar. I don't think he's Jeff Kent. He's a better defensive player than Jeff Kent. I think he is that mid-level second baseman that is going to give you plus.
Yeah, I forgot how old he was.
Yeah, he's going to give you plus of everybody else.
He was younger than that.
He's a plus second baseman.
Yeah. Yep.
But he's not a superstar second baseman.
No.
And maybe he develops into that. Maybe the power swing comes and he hits 25 home runs this year. But I think along the lines of 270 with 12 home runs and
he did,
driving in 50 and scoring 65 would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, I want doubles out of him. I want him on the base. I want him knocking in some runs. He doesn't have to be that power guy.
But anything over 250 and playing defense is going to be a big plus for the Padres.
No, he's like a 280, 285, 290
I think he could
guy.
be. I think he could be. He's got a great swing.
Good approach. Love his approach.
I know you want to talk a little Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Non-Padres.
I had to remind some people that we are a San Diego-based podcast and that we do talk about the Padres a lot because that's what we see.
We're converting people to Padres fans globally. I
mean, you see the series in Texas. There's a lot of brown in that stadium.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
And they're all listening to the podcast.
They do.
That's why they're Padre fans.
Yes.
Did you see the little kid that had like the Padre jersey on and the Texas Rangers hat?
Yeah. It's like, his dad probably military from San Diego, and then they moved to Texas.
But there's nothing wrong with having a favorite American League and a favorite National League team.
I do. I have that. Go Red Sox.
Boo. Boo Red Sox. Hey, I think
First
Babe
place.
Ruth's over here calling his shot.
Yeah. Yeah, good old Babe.
And even Ted Williams' first game was in Yankee Stadium.
That's crazy. from San Diego.
Over high school.
So there was just like, I'm watching the game and I'm watching the Mets, and DeGrom comes out. Jacob DeGrom comes out. His first 7 pitches are all triple digits and painted, just tish, tish, tish.
So he's the opposite of Darvish.
Yeah, he goes, I got 100. Oh, I hit it. And no one's touching it. And then he goes, throws an 84-mile-an-hour curveball. And the guy he misses it by a mile.
You mean he wasn't sitting curveball after 7 straight 100-mile-an-hour fastballs?
Pumping gas. And then, so I'm like, you know what? God, I don't get to see him enough. And you hear about it all the time. DeGrom goes 7 and gets the no decision. He struck out 14. You're like, huh. So I'm looking at this guy's stats, and they are ridiculously good and ridiculously crazy at the same time.
All right, hit me with it.
Okay.
Hit me with it.
So
you can't laugh before you tell us.
Well, I have to, because I look at the stats, and it's got to be a typo. I mean, it's not.
All right.
So
now let's preface this that he's played for the Mets.
He's played for the Mets the whole career. Okay. Let's see. He's had 186 starts.
That's pretty good.
Okay. He's won.
Let's before you go to how many, do you have like anything on his opponent's batting average?
No, I'd have to get too in depth for that.
Okay. Let's just say this: the Mets have not been good.
No, when he pitches,
Yeah.
And
All right.
that's why you win the Cy Young Award Cy Young with a below 500.
Yeah.
record.
So let's just before you get into this, let's just
Okay.
say the Mets have been a below average team his whole career.
Yeah.
Not because of him. All
Right. No.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut into your.
So he's got
stats.
186 starts.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give you his win total. He's got 71 wins
So
and
70
186.
That would tell you he's not a very good pitcher.
Right. You're like, okay. He has 52 losses.
And when you look at 71 and 52, that tells you he's a pretty good pitcher.
That also tells you that he has 63 no decisions.
And those are mostly 0-0, 1-1 games.
Yes. Or he leads the game with a lead, and then the
They
bullpen
lose.
gives it up.
Yeah.
How do you have more no decisions than losses? And you're only eight decisions away from totaling your win total. It's crazy.
It tells you how bad the Mets are.
Do you know what the batting average against him is in his losses? The games that he loses.
Is this an
What's-
off the cup question?
Yeah, it's off the cup.
If I had to pick. So this is just in his losses.
Just in his losses, his earned run average.
So he's lost 50 something games.
52.
His batting average, you said is bad. The opponent's batting
What is the opponent's batting average in the games that he loses?
175.
Oh, really close.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they're batting 190 against him
Wow.
in games that he loses.
No
the other
way.
team is batting 190. Most every other they're like batting like 330.
Yeah.
They're hitting 190 off him, and he loses.
And they lose. Oh my gosh.
The dude's electric. He's electric.
That's like probably that's less than a hit an inning.
That's giving up maybe a run or almost 2 runs in a start and losing, and he's doing that 52 times.
Do you have his whip there, like his career whip?
No,
No.
I just screenshotted it.
That would have been crazy.
So if you want to look at stats that don't make sense, go look at Jacob DeGrom's pitching stats.
Yeah, I think I would give up Paddock, Morihone, Gore, and Weathers for DeGrom.
I would give up Gore. I would give up Gore and Paddock in a package, and probably Mateo.
So I think the one thing the Padres don't need right now is starting pitching.
No, you're going to need that in 3 years. You're going to need those starters. So Weathers.
You're hoping your farm system does what you think your farm system's going to do.
Yeah. Here's what's crazy too. When you look at the Padres rotation for next year, it's going to be Darvish, Snell, Clevenger,
Musgrove, who I think is
Musgrove.
he's arbitration eligible.
yeah,
Lamet.
and Weathers.
Yeah, you have 6.
You got 6. So you're gonna part time it with Cleve, right? You're gonna
Well, it's going to take him a while. He's Tommy John.
He's going to be a pitch count that first year, right? So you're gonna be piece it in. I mean, how would you like to go Clevenger, Lamet in a start?
But like in 3 years for the Padres, Paddock's your 5. You've got Gore and Weathers, so you're really only looking for 2 more pitchers. And chances are
Snell
you're
and
not
Clevenger.
you're not going to re-sign Darvish most likely because he's going to be an older guy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a chance you're either going to sign Clevenger or Musgrove or both.
Honestly, I think you
Lamet.
have to.
So you got Gore, Weathers, Lamet, Paddock, Clevenger, Musgrove, Snell.
Mm-hmm.
Like your choice.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I think you're in such a good position. Now you can go, hey, look, we need to keep this together. I know it's not going to be what you could go get for the Yankees or the Red Sox because they're dying for starting pitching, but we got a chance to go back to back, or we got a chance to win our 3rd out of 4. I mean, let's keep the band together here.
So what it's really going to come down to, do you resign Myers? Does Abrams come up and play outfield? Does Tatis move to left or center?
Does Cronenworth move to left and Mateo and Abrams go to second?
Right. Well, if so, Cronenworth becomes a utility player. Profar's probably not going to be here because if he continues to play, he's going to be able to opt out and get a $15 million or $10 million contract. You have the high schooler you picked up that's an outfielder that you think has the greatest swing ever.
Hassel.
That's ready. So it's really going to come down to how you mix. Are you going to do the Dodgers thing where you bring up a new rookie every year and they're playing for Rookie of the Year every year, and it's kind of set up for that.
Mm-hmm.
So so how do you manage? Fam's going to be gone,
right?
Good chance Profar's gone. You've got a spot in left field for an Abrams or a Hassel next year, or a Mateo to step up and be a starter. Do you deal Myers, bring in another young guy? You keep him. He's finally blossomed into the player that everybody thought he was going to be, but I'm not sure when his contract's up. And what happens with Hosmer in 2 years, right? Because Hosmer's the veteran of the crew. He's the older guy.
Yeah, and he's going to be in a catch-22 because he's not a power hitter enough to say, okay, you can just move to DH. Because he's still a Gold Glove first baseman.
Right.
He's made some picks.
And they still have Kim for 2 more years.
Yeah.
If he turns it on, it becomes a big leaguer.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love the options the Padres have.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
They built the roster.
I think it, oh, man. I mean, how good is Myers right now?
So let me ask you this, right? You got a guy like Lamet, Cy Young stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just drop him into the back of the pen and just make him your closer?
Hey, it's John Smoltz.
Yeah.
It was a perfect example. The guy was a starter, got hurt. Then he goes and gets 100 saves in the bullpen, and then he went back to being a starter. Why not? Why not? David Price is pitching out of the bullpen right now.
Yeah, because he's not as effective as he has been.
But he looks great. He looks great in the pen. Look at Drew Pomerantz.
Mm-hmm.
Pomerantz was a starter forever. Put him in the bullpen. You can't touch the guy.
Yeah, because he can let the ball go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I love the options that they've got. There's going to be some serious GMing.
Yeah.
GMing.
So how did we go from DeGrom back to the Padres?
I don't know. Because he's that good. And you wanted to trade.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how we did it.
But literally what comes down to you can't trade for DeGrom because you literally don't need him.
Yeah. But God, he's so good.
You don't need him. So I think do you have any other cool Major League Baseball things you want to talk about before we jump into something I think is your pet peeve?
My pet peeve?
I think you have.
Which one was it?
Well, we'll find out after you're done with your Major League Baseball updates.
Well, I started a new thing on social media for this day in baseball. And today, which is the 24th of April.
I've heard of that day.
Yeah. King Griffey Jr. became the second Major League player to have a candy bar named after him.
Oh, the kid.
But the thing is it didn't sell very well when it came out that he's allergic to chocolate.
Nice.
So that kind of, but at least he got one.
All right, Griffey, at least you got a candy bar. That a boy.
Can't even eat his own candy bar.
Oh, man. But he sure was fun to watch play.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. All right. I think this is a pet peeve.
Pet peeve. Okay.
The strike zone box
Oh,
on the television screen.
God, I hate it.
So last night, there was a pitch that was a called strike.
Mm-hmm.
The strike zone box had it like in the middle of the line, almost out of the plate. They did the overhead shot, and the pitch was actually a ball in over the plate. Like the strike zone box made it look like barely a strike.
Mm-hmm.
The overhead camera said, "This is a half a ball over the plate." Right? It was no doubt that it was a strike from the overhead camera, the straight down camera. Strike zone box made it look like, ooh, that was barely a strike. So, what's going on with the strike zone box?
It gives you a false. It's like if it's in this box, it's a strike.
It should be a strike.
It should be a strike. And if it's outside the box, it's a ball. And what you end up doing is yelling at the damn TV, going, "It looks, it's a ball. Why do they call that a strike?" Just get rid of the box. Just get rid of it. Let the umpire. And that's the one thing I love about baseball is I got a guy behind the plate. It's the human element. And if I don't like what he's doing, I can go yell at that guy. You know, that's what I love about baseball is that game inside the game, right? If you start putting a box up there and everybody watching TV, whether they know baseball or not, is going, it's a strike. Look at it.
It's in the box.
It's in the box. It's outside the box. And we're going nuts. If you eliminate that, then you go, oh,